Alrighty, guys, we are back again. I just I just put up a video. I I guess I think yesterday. I got so much stuff going on. I lose track of days. But it was yesterday, or I think it might have been the day before. But on the shirts and how I can get people ready. Then that's only going to benefit you know maybe one person, um, possibly two. But the odds of that are probably really extremely high. Even for the one, its odds are going to be high. But anyway, this one here, again, we're on the Discord because I keep telling you guys, and I know I've seen it before, other channels, tell you know, how, you know, everything here is because of the Discord, and, but they don't show it. And then you're like, okay, well, then you end up clicking their link and going there, and, you know, it's nothing like, oh, I lost my spot. They're chatting again on what's going on. But yeah, people, it's just to drive traffic to their Discord. Um, Someone, okay, where's I at? Oh yeah, he wanted information on that cyber bundle. That was this right here. Uh, I get $25 and you get all 24 of these courses. It sounds cheap to me. This sound, you know what this looks like? The page looks like and sounds like to me. Sounds like one of those security YouTubers, that put out meaningless security videos, and says, well, if you want to know more, I got courses over on my, yeah, you know what? Take your courses and, well, let's not, let's not get into that. Yeah, they're going to be chatting, so the chat's not going to stay still. At least, everything you learn here will benefit your knowledge toward your certificates. Okay, okay. Okay, right here. Here's where I want to start. You mean I'm actually here for something? What did he say? Oh, I'm just a noob and don't know what the good and bad parts are. Oh, that that was for this post. Everything you learn will benefit and give you knowledge toward your certificates, no matter. You just need to know. Oh yeah, when you're learning, that was regarding this. You know, even even if he does take this, pays the $25 or whatever it is, and goes to a mall, it might be a bad course. But everything you do, everything you take in is going to be beneficial, good or bad. You don't know it until later down the road when you come across someone else that has a better course, more knowledgeable. Could be me, what you learn here with me, or could be someone else. If you're going to hack the box, or something like that. But eventually you're going to learn that what you learned back there on that other course. Well, you're going to it's going to hit you like, well, that was just a bunch of BS. All this time I was thinking, I was believing that, and I was, it didn't make sense. I was trying stuff and it wasn't working right, and everything. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And it turns out you weren't doing anything wrong. What you learned from someone else was a bunch of BS, and it took you however long it takes you to get that aha moment. Then you realize it. But that's what. Let's go back down. That's what led to me saying this. You mean I'm actually here for something to help you guys, basically, And we're gonna have to put up with that message up to, two messages. It might go to three or four. Who knows? But um, so yeah, he goes. I mean, your life stories right here. I mean, your life stories themselves are very interesting, and he's not the only that everyone on. That's how this whole channel started. Stories from a hacker, an illegal hacker. And yes, I get it. Illegal hackers are mysterious. You know, a whole bunch of adjectives you could use. They make movies from them. I don't want a movie made about my stuff. Oh God, the government I know surely doesn't want it. Um, but yeah, it's a thing. You know, and how we. this is why I want to get to this, because you, again, this is another subject you're probably not going to hear on the internet from any other security channel, or maybe any other channel at all. Um, but how does a hacker get the mindset and stuff to be a hacker? In other words, to be top, to be great, like a Tom Brady, Michael Jordan type, to be a GOAT at hacking. Where do they get that motivation? Where do they get that drive? Where do they get that? I'm not settling for average. I'm not, it's the best for me, or I'm not happy. Um, and yes, not the majority of society does not have that mentality. Look at the NFL. How many Tom Brady's, or any sport, how many Tom Brady's, Michael Jordan's, Mike Tyson's, Tiger Woods, go through all the greats and look at, and in all the sports, add up all the greats, the GOATs in every sport, and then add up the total people in each sport, all community, because you're adding all the GOATs together in golf and basketball, Formula One, whatever it is, however many sports you include, get all the GOATs in that and see how many you have, and then get every single the total count. How many people are play in the NFL? It doesn't matter if you're making $100,000 and you know you don't play much because you're third, fourth, fifth, or sixth string, or you're on the practice squad even, or in the NBA would be the D League, and so and Major Baseball, every sport has even, but you're in it, you're just not good enough to either get on the team yet, and once you are good enough to get on the team, you're still in a lower rate, you know, and so you add up all, and again, it's just like billionaires. They say billionaires are the 1% of the 1%. Well, the goats are the 1% of the 1% also. And it's the same in hacking. It's the same in everything. Pick your topic. There's just certain people that have an added extra drive, a higher level of motivation in them. And this is a sad story. Well, no, it's not sad because I am here. I'm here talking to you guys. That it's not sad, but there is probably a 1 minute to 2 minute time period to where I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. This is the difference between life and death. And this is my story. Like I said, I'm sure other top, uh, I don't want to say elite, um, because we don't even look at it that way. We're just hackers. This is what we do. We love doing it. We love it. It's like an obsessed gamer that spends his whole day gaming all day. We do the same thing, except it's not gaming. It's breaking into computers. Well, X for me, but still the same thing. I love the research, especially now. I got into countries and stuff because I love politics. I love business. I study all that stuff and everything. So, and who do hacking, like foreign nation states and stuff, and stuff like, who do they hack? They hack large corporations, large companies. And stuff. You have to know the company structure and everything to know who to target, how to target it, what do they do, their lifestyle, where do they hang out at? Because maybe you could hack those places and get on their. You don't have to get on their device. If you're phishing them or something, you don't have to do it in their network. You don't have to break into the network. If you know they visit a certain restaurant and that restaurant has Wi-Fi, and their phone or their laptop or whatever device they're using uses that Wi-Fi and everything, you hack that restaurant's Wi-Fi, and you like a stakeout. You step back and you wait until they come again, and this takes knowing their schedule too, because you don't want to be sitting there waiting for months, and they don't come. So you have to know that they do frequent that place, a lot. That is their restaurant, where they hang. That's where they hang out, where they like to go. Never, but you get the point. I don't want to I don't want to give too much away, because people out there. But But you get the point. There's other ways to get or hack someone's phone, computer, or whatever, laptop, whatever it is, other than thinking that hacking into their company network and doing it is the only way. It's not the only way. They got multiple homes. Usually, if they're that rich, they got multiple homes across the country, mansions. Those are not as secure as the business network is. But anyway, I'm off topic here. But people love my stories, as you can tell right here. I'm not just saying this on video, people, you know, to boast myself or anything. And, that's what this is for. I'm letting people know that, I'm not saying this just, to boast myself on YouTube or anything. This has all started out me getting into this to just help people get into the security industry because the industry is so short-handed and there's just not enough qualified people out there. And so I figured, well, you know what? I know a lot about security and stuff. I can teach people for free. And that's how it come about. And it blew up into this whole other thing. So people like my talking, like right now. They like my storytelling. And so that was unexpected. That came out of left field. Don't know, I wasn't expecting that, but here we are. And so I'm going to read here. So it means your life stories themselves are very interesting, and they are, honestly, I get a chuckle out of them, listening to them. And besides your expertise and willingness to help us, okay, that's good. Then I said, yeah, is this the one I want to read? No, this is not, doesn't have oh, well, I'll read it. So, yeah, that's not even the beginning of my 62 years. My life has been strange, and the whole family and all my friends have said I should write an autobiography or something. No way, I'm not doing that. I'm not writing. I don't have the patience to write a book. Now, could my life path help others in many ways, psychological, and stuff like that? Well, yeah, it could. You know, it could help. Someone else that is having a hard life, and my life path could help inspire them and everything. But if I did it, it would have to be like a self documentary. And who wants to hear that? Well, after people listening to me on these videos, it's kind of weird to say that now. Apparently, I guess it would be worth something to a lot of people or us, because otherwise, why are we here with this? We're here because of my storytelling. That's why we're here. Maybe at the end of the journey, we can skim through, okay, and everything. Now, here's where it is. I mean, you all heard about my blackjack and card counting. I've talked about that in the previous videos. But there was also 4 to 5 year periods. And like I said, this is a 62-year lifespan. Well, yeah, it takes up whole 62 years, as you'll find out a little bit lower. But a 4 to 5 year period where I voluntarily decided to go homeless here in Vegas, by the way, just for the experience. It's something new. I'm young. And stuff. So I'm like, I'm adventurous, and this is what hacker. My hacker mindset didn't come in 1996 when I got on computers. I've always had that, or else the blackjack card counting wouldn't have come about. If I didn't have that kind of way of thinking, differently. But I figured being homeless, hey, it's an experience. Let me find out what it is, and I found out. And I found out a whole lot more, as you'll see in a minute. That ended up being a wild and strange feature. I guess you want to call that journey also. Ended up joining FTRA, Freight Train Riders of America. It's like a gang, you could say. They call it a national group, the authorities and government, because there's a bad stigma to them. But we won't get it. That's a whole other things. But anyway, it's a national who move around the U.S. by freight hopping or catching out, they call it, in street terms, or in their circle, of terms and everything, as the term goes, on rail cars, freight train rail cars and stuff like that. And there's particular ones that you look for. I'm not going to say, because I don't want to encourage people, because I've had friends die doing this, and it's dangerous because trains don't stop. This is not a train station. you're doing this, you're jumping on this for free. And so, you got to know the pattern, you got to know trains for one, and how to spot different types of trains, and stuff, and where they could be going, and which ones are the long haulers. In other words, the ones that are going across the United States, or the ones that are just going to the next state over. You got to be able to identify them, and you learn that when you get into it. You learn how to do that. But there's certain cars that have hidden areas on the front and on each end, front end, back end. What they're both the same. But and you got to know which one those are, or else you're gonna have an hours long ride, very uncomfortable if you get the wrong rail car. But like I said right here, black check card counting, the FTRA, and everything. Those, this is just again, I'll stress this is a 62-year lifespan. Those are just a few of the things that have got the government and the authorities and the DoD companies interested in me. It wasn't like people got this idea because my prior videos that I started hacking in 1996 and everything, and got good at it and everything. And then the government found out about it and they're like, oh, who is this guy? We got to get him to work for us. No, they're go back to the who is this guy. They're like, who is this guy? We need to look further into him, not just, all of a sudden he's an elite hacker or going, on that path and everything, and we need to hire him. No, they went back in my history because, at that time, well, just do the math. Come on, people, you can do math. This is 2024. I'm 62 years old. Just do the subtraction from 1996, and you know how old I was at that time. So they're like, this guy's been alive for a while. Um, does he got a record? What else has he done? And so they did that, and when they pulled that up, when they saw that, all of a sudden my hacking was irrelevant at that point, because it was that aha moment. They said, holy shit, look at this guy. It's not the hacking at all. And that's, they saw the homelessness, and they saw the FTRA, they saw the black check card counting, and like I said, other things we won't get into. But you can see right here, people are like, damn, that's wild, dude, and everything. That's interesting as fuck, And again, this is why I'm showing people, and doing this video, because this video wasn't planned. This video started just now. You can see this was today at 12:59, and it is 1:30 right now. That's how quick I decided to do this video. Because I'm probably not going to do the autobiography. I'm probably not going to do this self-documentary. So this is going to be the little snippet for you guys and anyone else that stumbles onto this, and I can direct them. Someone else that doesn't even know that I even have this channel and stuff, and they want to go, man, your life is something. I can just direct them to this video and everything. And so this is going to be my little mini documentary about my life, and this is probably all it's going to end up being ever. But guys, 1996, I wasn't even born yet. I was a baby. These two guys. Oh yeah, even from those two paragraphs, your life seems extremely eventful. Then I told him, I go more than you know. Um, my first run-in with the authorities was when I was at, well, with the high authorities. Was when I was at 16. I was 16, and at the time I wasn't. I was living at home, but I was out on the town. I was out with my friends partying, doing what we do. Out and partying when the FBI knocked on my dad's door. Now, I won't say what that was about or anything, but when he answered it and they identified themselves, he wasn't shocked at all. Didn't bother. He even told them, like I said right here, he even told them, I knew this day was coming. At some point, at some time, I knew this was coming. And you can imagine the look on their faces. They were like, what? They're like, what the hell are we getting ourselves into here? But someone joked, yeah, wellness check. What were you like as a kid? And he He goes, your dad not being surprised at the FBI. If your dad wasn't surprised, what were you doing? You know? Again, won't get into that. I told you guys that I was an ex-hacker, and that started in 1996. And that's all. We're not going to get into any more than that. You guys thought that was my only thing. Oh, this guy got into hack. He got into hacking in 1996. You guys don't know that there's a whole other chain of events that led up to that before computers were even thought of. But right here's the part of this why this video came about, and whether it will help somebody else or not, I have no idea. Let's just say it wasn't good. Up here, I'm talking about my past when I was young. I will expand on the only psychological reason I can think of why I am the way I am. My dad told me this when I was like at 13, 14, somewhere in that area or something. But my mom wanted a girl. And when I was born, naturally, she was extremely disappointed, upset, pissed. And like 7, 8 months old, she tried to kill me by drowning me in the toilet. My dad just happened to be coming by the bathroom door at that time, looked in and seen it. And that's what saved me. And that's what I meant a while ago when I started this video. Another minute or two, people, and I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be on this channel and stuff, and no one would no one would have known about me. Did that hit? Did that matter? Because your life, you go through your life, and your life doesn't only just affect you; it affects every other person that you come in contact with, in some way or another, good or bad. And how did my life path? How did the people that I came in, my friends, best friends, girlfriends, exes, all, where are they now? Who knows? I don't know. But being with me, has that affected them? It could be. I don't know. Like I said, I study psychology and psychiatry, but I'm not an expert in it. I got my own opinions. Again, I won't talk about that. This is not a psychology or psychiatric blog or channel or anything. So I won't get into that. But anyway, I can clear it now. We're here. But that's my life story, guys. It came up in chat just an hour ago, and I figured I'd make a quick video on it. And because I'm not blaming her on it. I had no say in it. I wasn't even a year old at the time. They say that they didn't have a choice. To be born, they were born the wrong sex. I should have been a girl. Or whatever. Um, it's the same with me. I was born into this situation. I had no choice when I came into, and I knew, I didn't know I was going to have a psychotic mom, that fucking wanted a girl and was going to try to kill me because I wasn't. Um, but nevertheless, that's what life dealt me, and I didn't know it at the time. But now I know it. You learn things in life as you go on. I didn't know it at the time, but now I've learned it and everything. But that's the life that I was dealt. I didn't have a choice, and it was up to me to deal with it or not. I could have committed suicide after my dad told me, and I thought about it, and that could have struck me the wrong way, as it does some people when they find out something that happened dramatic that happened to them in their past, and they can't handle it. They don't have it in them to handle it, and they might commit suicide and stuff. But again, this is dipping off into a different area, into psychology and all that. Um, if you're into that, go listen to Jason Peterson and people like that. Maybe Ben Shapiro, kind of to a point though, but he's in a different lane. He's religious, he's Jewish, he gets into that whole, and he's political, but he gets in. But anyway, those type of people might be able to help you. Um, like I said, I know psychology and probably just enough to, I would say be lethal, but again, it's another topic we won't go into. And again, maybe by the DOD contractors are interested in me, but or were at that time, not so much now because I'm much older now. I'm toward the end of my life and stuff, but um, don't know what else to say on the guys. I covered it, everything that and like I said, you guys can see over here my rooms that I'm in. I got them all. There's two in this one. There's more than in this one, and I won't say what those topics are, but again, it's part of me. It's part of who I am. Um, one of them is Blender. This one right here. This is Blender. I'm on Blender Bros, Polyford, Ducky 3D, Fluent. That's who I'm on there. This one right here by Modlogs with those two in it there. I'm not going to say what those are. For those of you that can identify those icons, then you know. If you can't identify those icons, then you probably don't need to know. And same with these down here, these two here. This one right here is I lost my brain of thought, but I have another one of my channels that I have also is X-Plane. I love flight sims. I love flying, and that gets into another area on why the government is interested in me. Oh well, you guys already know about FTRA and blackjack card counting. I'll add another one. Okay, let me see. Altogether, involving my past, blackjack card counting, FTRA, and this, planes. Let's just say, and one and another one. There's 7 areas that I have gotten interested in and got knowledgeable in and everything over my 62-year period, where someone like the government or a DOD contractor or someone like that would be interested. Maybe even the CIA or NSA would be interested. Um, but the CIA, well, they might. Um, yeah, the CIA might not. NASA probably doesn't know about me. But the main agency of the DOD contractor that I work for, that I do consulting for and everything, as a third party. So in other words, you have the government, you have the Department of Defense, then you got Department of Defense contractors. That's 3 levels now. Then the Department of Defense contractors on the 3rd level, they hire somebody out as a consultant or a third party. And that's where I lie. So I'm 4-5 levels away from the actual government. But if you follow that chain up to the agency that's the parent, let's say, of who I work for down here, that would lead to the NSA. So, does the CIA know about me? They could. Maybe 1 or 2 people in there. In NASA, or not NASA, but in the NSA, as far as my knowledge goes, there's 2, there maybe 4. There's 3, possibly 4 people in there that know me personally, know my name, where I live and stuff and all that. And that's it. Out of the whole NSA, it's only those 3, possibly 4, that even know I exist. And welcome to intelligence. That's what intelligence is. It's if everybody knows about every other's business, it's not intelligence no more. You guys are a happy family, and you belong in the Bible Belt somewhere, because everybody knows everybody. That's not intelligence. Intelligence is very secretive, a lot of lying. People do tell the truth because there has to be like a half and half in that. half the stuff you say has to be truthful. The other half you say has to not be truthful, because there's always, no matter who you're talking to, there always has to be that level of doubt. You know, okay, that's information. I got intel now, but wait a minute. We're in the spy game here, or intelligence game here. Is that really intel? Um, you know, is this true information, or is he just bullshitting with me? And the NSA, CIA, NASA, those three, definitely. FBI to an extent, not as much, but those three, yeah. With those three organizations, nothing is how it seems. You know, you just come to work, you do your job, you only focus on your job. Don't pay attention to anybody else, because that can be dangerous. Even in your own, you know, area. You know, if you're in an office with whatever Joe's working on over here, don't worry about it. That could get you. That could get your life into. You don't know what he's into. You don't know who he's working for, or what organization in the United States, he answers to, or and so you know it's a different world, people. It is a different world, and again, I'm not being uh, critical to anyone or anything, but this is why the NSA, CIA, and all that. This is why they look for people to bring in, because you do have to be of a certain level of intelligence to even survive in this kind of that kind of whacked out environment, because it's your problem solving, your thinking, and your intelligence that's going to keep you alive, keep you safe. Even not everyone in those organizations is in a life and or death situation. You know, Karen, that works the front desk, reception desk, she probably has not a lot to worry about. Come to work, punch in, do her 8 hours, punch out, and go home with the husband and kids and live like any other normal person. There's positions inside that are like that. It's it's the higher you get, where you know where things, not even in mid level. We're talking up at the top. It's the higher you get into, the deeper you get into things and stuff, is where things start getting sketchy. And they looked at when they found out, my hacking is what got them interested, and that was just like casual interested. They're like, look, we know a lot of hackers, okay? He ain't the only one doing this shit. We know a lot of people. What makes him so different? Well, who is he? Let's put his name in the computer and find out what's this guy made of? What's he done? Um, the first thing that probably jumped out on him was here in Las Vegas. I assaulted an officer. I punched an officer, technically, but again, we're not going to get into that either. Um, so they're like, well, okay, things are starting to get a little more interesting now. So we need to dig deep. Let's go to the federal level. Let's go, deep. We're into it, So, and as they, that's that rabbit hole, let's call it, because then the FTRA coming up, then Blackshot card counting comes up, and my connect. When I was in the FTRA, like in any gang, you're going to get contacts. You're going to have contacts for you and everything, and they're going to be interesting people too. And then Blackjack, it's a different niche, you could say, but that also gives me access to other contacts like Kenny Houston. Search him, guys. Kenny Houston, Uston. Big name in Blackjack. Worked on the Chicago Board of Trade before he got into Blackjack. Uh, Again, a high-ranking person in stock trade and stuff. But that's this is what the video is about, guys. For you guys that have been here for the full 6, 7 videos and have watched all of them, which I think is you guys here in chat, for the because I know I'm getting a shitload of views on the video, but I can tell by the stats that not everyone is watching the videos all the way through, and first 2 or 3, 4 minutes, and they're like, yeah, guys, talking a bunch of bullshit, and that doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'm an intelligence. You think I'm talking bullshit, then get the hell out of here. That's better for me. You don't need to dig into me. You don't need to know more about me. You don't need to see this video. If you watch the first video and you've never been back to my channel at all, well, you, you don't know what you missed out on. But that's that's perfect for me. I love that. But this is what got me here. Um, Almost being killed at 7, 8 months in my life. My life hadn't even started yet. You know, and I don't know I don't know what else to tell you guys, or how that how that came about, or why I'm the way I am now. And everything. That's just how it worked out. That's just how it worked out. There is nobody in my family tree that is like me. No one has been in trouble with the law. They've all been law-abiding, religious people. Um, you know, Christians, Pentecostal, to be exact. My dad was a Pentecostal preacher. Um, no reason. And my whole uh, DNA, let's say, DNA doesn't have anything to do with you, and I'm living proof of that. And I'm probably not the only one. Charles Manson or what? I don't know his background. But anyway, I'm not probably not the only, but I'm living proof of that, because there's no one in my bloodline that is like me, and so. But your past does affect you, and like I said, this goes into the area where you don't have no choice in the situation you're born in, what sex you are, whether your parents are good or bad, what part of the world do you live in. Are you born in Beverly Hills, with a rich family? And that might not even be good either. Rich families are fucked up. I won't get into pedophilia and all that, but do your own research. Um, or are you born in, uh, let's say, the middle of Iran or South Africa, um, the Congo, or something, where you don't live in a home, you live in a hut. If that, even a hut is a luxury. But you know, you're born wherever that is, in whatever situation that is. You're born into it, and life just says, "Here, this is where you're at. Deal with it." If you don't want to deal with it and kill yourself, okay. I got no. Life is life itself. Life is. I got no problem with it. Mother Nature, if you will. I got no problem with it. Okay. I gave you a test and you failed. Okay. On to the next person. You know. So I hate to be laughing, but that's how I look at it. Like I said, I'm different. Um, but sorry for the rambling. It's just I don't know what to say regarding this. I told you guys what happened to me, and why am I here? I don't know. I really don't. And if this video helps somebody, that is having a hard time in their life and everything, join the chat. I know it's a hacking channel, but if you're having that much problems, I'll help you out any way I can. Like I said, I do know psychology and psychiatry. I've studied it and everything, and I still study it for myself mainly. Um, the same with medicine. You know, like I told you guys before, I don't drink water. I never have drunk water. Well, yeah, as a kid, but not as much. My parents didn't force me, eat your spinach, or this and that. They didn't, if I didn't want to do something, they were like, okay, fine, you don't want to do it, you don't like it, whatever. And I didn't choose to drink water because I got hooked on Pepsi, and that came about because of my grandfather. My grandfather owned a pool hall when I was little. I was about the height of a pool table, and this again, this is another branch. My life. right? You know, my life is so fucked up sometimes. This leads into my homeless area. You know, when you're homeless, you got to make money, right? You know, you can go dumpster diving and look for aluminum and stuff like that and take it to the recycling center, which I did, which also leads to how I got my felony because do I do you guys are you guys really interested in this? You know, how long is this video? I keep saying I'm going to time it on my phone so I know how long I've been going, but I always forget. My mind is so scattered. I always forget. But listen, guys, this I'm not saying this just to get help the video. You know, the channel is already on its way. Okay. Um, if my stories like this, particularly this, not forget the security and everything, just my life stories benefit or help you, or you find it, comment. Let me know because seriously, I don't mind talking about it if people really need the insight or help or motivation, if you will, and everything. I don't mind doing that because, like I said, I've got a 62-year lifespan that covers whatever situation you're in. I've probably been in it. I've been in prison. I've been and behind bars. You know, if you want to count county and prison, probably about 2 to 3 years in total. You know, not at one long stretch, but if you add it all up, my longest stretch behind bars was probably a year, a full year. Yeah, that feels weird when you get released, let out back. You know, people that have been in custody for a long time, for years, and they know what I'm talking about. You know, when you've been in for a year or longer and you get released back out into society, let's say, uh, it feels weird. You know, you're looking around at things and it's just a different feeling. That's all it is. I don't know how to say it. But where was I at? Two different scenarios that come up I knew I was on. The pool hall, and what was the other one? Um, I don't know. Maybe it'll come up. But yeah, you got to make money. Oh, the scrapping, if you will. Um, I did get into scrapping, and that I got that let me get introduced to people and everything. I got into the FTRA, and they introduced me to a guy that owned a scrapyard here. You know what? This is probably another thing that interested the government. Come to think about it, another thing that slipped my mind when I started talking about it. But anyway, um, led me to this guy that owns a scrapyard here in Vegas. It was on Spring Mountain and Industrial, right on the corner there. That's where it was. And a group of us homeless people hung out in the parking lot. You know, he had a parking lot and everything. I stayed in a pickup truck, an old 1960s pickup truck, and I slept in the front seat and stuff. Other people, he had semi trailers, and people had cardboard, you know, shacks, boxes and stuff laid down on the ground, and they made cardboard shacks, if you will. Um, and he used the trailers as a storage, so they were never going to move. You know, that was his storage. And there were like three of them lined up, and they stayed there. And so we were like scattered all over the place, and we were a group. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys how the felony came about. Okay, again, I don't know how long this video is going to be. Okay, if you're here this long, I assume you like this video. It's not on security. It's not on anything. Um, and I didn't intend. This is how it go. I intended to just tell my story. That this ended like already. I guess 15 minutes ago, if you will. Because I just wanted to talk about what was shown here, and that was it. But it's taken on this. I get talking, and again, this is why I got my adult visual novels and my porn, and why they're so popular, and one of my main income sources, other than besides security, because I'm a storyteller, and they're novels. You got to write it. You got to write a story, and oh my God, I'm actually getting into explaining this to you guys again, or not again, but okay, quick. I wonder if I should put time codes on this and break the code up into chapters. I might think about doing that. Um, Adult visual novels. You can search for them. AVN, and it'll give you to it'll take you to itch.io, where a lot of them are. And there's different niches. There's a complete 3D novel that I make, but then there's cartoon anime ones. There's there's even ones that aren't even adult. They're just visual novels. That's it. And so you can go down that rabbit hole if you want. But what it is uh, you write a story, and it's a game also, because the story, is put up in a game like form. You can go to your setup screen or your options and change the volume and change this, and check options and stuff for you, and you'll learn about all that if you get into it. um, there's certain animations that you can get and save in the game and everything, and go back and watch them, if that turns you on. But there's that. But it's the background is all 3D. It's a 3D scene. In other words, you're saying, like, Karen goes into the bar, and she's looking around, and you might have a background of a 3D, a full 3D scene of a bar and everything. And Karen is down, a picture of Karen from here up or whatever is down there, because her dialogue is in text coming across the bottom. You got to read it. You read it, and it's telling you. If it's in italic text, that means you're thinking it. If it's in regular written text, that means you're saying it. And so you see there, Karen's looking around the bar, and she sees a, cute guy or whatever, a hot dude, at the bar. Um, and so she goes over to it. Then you hit your enter button or space bar. There's two of them. There's enter button, space bar, or the arrow key that'll move it to the next slide. And that slide might be the guy at the bar and her walking up, or it just could be a still. But anyway, you get the point. The whole game is like this until you get to the sex scenes. When a sex scene starts, it's literally a video, an MP4, that's done by Blender. Well, for me, it's Blender and Daz. That's what I use. There's people that use Maya. There's people that use Cinema 4D. You use what you want. I use free software, and because I like Daz and I like Blender. I just, whether they're free or not, I like them. And but anyway, you use those to make your 3D uh, images for your background, but you also use it to make your porn animations of the sex, whatever you want and everything. And that's basically it in a nutshell, cut down shorthand. That's a whole what a no whole and oh pass. As the game goes, naturally you're going to be presented with choices. You, Karen walks up to the guy turns around, and they talk for a little bit, and everything, and you know the choice might come up where you're going to say, well, you want to go back to my place. The guy, telling her, well, you going to go back to my place, or the girl, either one, and you pop up a choice. Yes, you go back, or no, you don't. And you hit a choice. Well, those choices are recorded in your game, and you do this in Python. It's actually called, well, the language is called RenPy, but it's written in Python, and you click a choice, but whatever choice you click, that changes your what they shit. I can't even think of, I write novels. Plot that changes your plot. You were on the default plot path. The three arc path of a normal novel. Well, AVNs are like a tree with all its branches, and each different branch is a plot with a different ending, different animations, different storyline and stuff. It changes, and you guide your way through this game by the choices that you make, because every single choice, it doesn't matter if if the person might say, you look down on the ground and you see a cigarette. Do you pick it up or not? You're like, what the hell is this question here for? Well, again, we're getting into psychology here. it takes a certain amount of, it takes a certain person to even think and decide that. Normal people would, as you're walking, you would see the cigarette on the ground and not even just walk right over it and not even be thinking about it. You know, it won't even enter your, you just visually see it, but it doesn't, what you're talking to someone, it doesn't change something. Other people are wired differently. Someone else might be like me. It's got fucked up wiring. and, and they might be walking and see, even talking to someone, yeah, John, well, I didn't know good idea. Oh, hey, wait a minute. You know, Here's a cigarette, like that. You bend down, pick it up, and maybe you light it up and finish it, or who knows. But that choice of you bending down, picking it up, just affect your path because of that choice you made. You have made that choice in the game, you know, and this is what makes these AVN developers that I showed you, and I think I did show you. Yeah, I did show you in the previous game or the previous video. I showed you that they've got 20,000 people. They're making 60, 70, 100 over $100,000 a month. These are the people that are like me. They're great storytellers, and they put these things together, and they're really really exciting to play. Now they're the 1%. I guess I'm a 1% in the AVN niche. I guess I'm a 1% hacker too. Um, it's what makes us not different. When you go on itch, that's well, you'll find it. Itch.io, because that's where all the AVNs are. You're gonna find, like YouTube, a ton of people. You know, they play one game. It's kind of like YouTube. They play one game, their first ever game, and they like it, and they're like, "Oh, I can make this. I can do this. I can sell these." They don't. They make them. They're cheap. They're half-assed. The 3D graphics are amateurish. And there's nothing exciting. There's no story. They don't even know how to write a story. They don't even know the 3-act series. To make it suspenseful, and it just doesn't work. And that's 99% of the people or the avians that are out there. And if you get into this niche to where you play them and stuff, this is what you're going to have to go through. You're going to have to go through a whole lot of bad shit to find really good people that you spend all day playing their game, because it's the story. It's like a movie. It's like an extended long movie. It's taking you hours, and it takes about, on average, these things start at about the 20-hour mark. But those 20 hours usually take people a week or a week and a half to finish, depending on their work schedule, how busy they are, and all that, whether they're retired or not, and all that stuff. But and just how much time they devote to it. But still, and that's because of all the plot paths. But okay, let's drop the AVN. You guys know about enough about that. Let's get to the pool. Um, my grandfather owned the pool hall, and he had Coke machines, the old bottle Coke. Now this is when Coke was special. Coca-Cola was special. Um, this is when Coke uh, had an interesting ingredient in it. I'm not going to say, but you guys know. Come on. Um, and I got hooked on it. You know, I took, I had a Coke in there, and then I had more, and because I started like, oh yeah, I'm going to the pool hall, Grandpa. Yeah, yeah, can I get a Coke, Grandpa? Can I get a Coke? And he didn't know. He's like, oh yeah, sure, here's some change. Go get you one. Yeah, at that time it only took change to get one. Um, and so I would get a Coke, and that was when I got hooked. And that's why I got hooked. It wasn't necessarily the sugar. It wasn't necessary, but that's what initially got me hooked on soda. And then time went on, and everything. Coke took that ingredient out, if you will, and it didn't taste the same to me, and this and that and the other, and I'm like, oh man, I'm tired of Coke, and I want something different. And I tried everything, out there. What was that one with the R? Not Ritz or Rit, Re, fuck. Um, I don't want to get on Google to search for it, but it was packaged in blue. I think it was packaged to look kind of like Pepsi, but it wasn't exactly Pepsi. It started with an R, I think RI something. But anyway, I tried that, and okay, that's okay. But then I tried Pepsi, and I ended up liking Pepsi. It wasn't nothing spectacular, but I'm like, okay, I like this. It's not good or bad or anything, but I could drink it. I like it, and that's why I stayed on. And that's where the whole Pepsi fetish came in. Um, I keep I keep looking down in the corner like you guys, because I know my picture and pictures in the corner, and I keep looking down there like I'm talking, but I should be looking at the camera. But anyway, and so growing up, you know, in the pool hall and everything, naturally, you guys guessed it if you hadn't already, I became pretty lethal at pool. I'd play my grandfather. I'd play all the pool sharks that were in there. I didn't know there were sharks at the time. I thought it was just a bunch of old men that liked playing pool. And I'm like, okay, I break and I don't get a shot. How is this fun? Like that. Oh, kid, you'll understand one day. It takes practice. You got to practice this game to get good at it and everything. You know, what it is you can't let your opponent shoot unless you're trying to hustle them. Then you know you miss on purpose, but you're so good at what you do, you miss, and you purposely put the ball in a bad spot where you know they're not going to be able to make a shot or a legal shot if you're playing 9 ball, or snooker, or what if you're just playing 8 ball, well, still you can hide it to where they can't shoot one of their balls and everything. But anyway, you get to where you know the English and you know the geometry and everything. And this is my introduction into math. I told you guys in the previous a previous video, I don't know which one, that I was doing infinite math when I was 6 years old. And that's college level math at sixth grade. When not 6 years old, in sixth grade. I was doing infinite math in sixth grade already. And so this is where it all started. Me as this little kid figuring out geometry on a pool table. Who knew? But so yeah, I picked up English, how to use it, and all that, and everything, the strategy of pool, and so when I'm homeless now, how are we going to make money? I'm talking to my buddy at the time. I'm like, how are we going to make money? And this is an old man, a lot older than I was, like maybe 15 years older than me, and he's like, well, you know what? He goes, I can play pool. He goes, how good are you at pool? I laughed at him. I'm like, how good am I at pool? And so, I didn't know where this was going to go, so I played it off. I'm like, and this is again, 50% truth, 50% lie. You know, I didn't know that at that time, but now it makes sense to me even more. I was like, how good am I at pool? I don't know. I'm okay. I can hold my own. You know, he's like, good. He goes, we can hustle pool. And I'm like, and he's like, you know what that means? I'm like, yeah, you know, I've heard the term hustle before. I'm familiar with it. I didn't go into detail again. It's irrelevant. You didn't need to know that. But now I'm telling you guys. But um, so he's like, okay, we can do, and that's what we did. We became a team, kind of like Color of Money. Although we didn't know Color of Money at that time, but kind of like Color of Money, and we took turns playing the dummy. You know, where we go in there and play for pool, and we lose purposely, and all that stuff, and set it. You guys will learn if you guys want to get into that and waste your time and go down that rabbit hole. Go down that, but yeah, it's a whole thing. Another thing that makes really good money, if you're good at it, because there's always people that want to gamble in the pool and the bars here in Vegas. They have the bars have 9 ball tables. They're smaller. They're not regulation, size, but they're smaller to fit in a pool. I mean, fit in a bar. That way they can put more of them instead of just one big, huge, or two big, huge one. They can put 4 of them let's say in a smaller area. And at that time, it only took a quarter to to play every game, and the bar's making money on the pool tables, and but anyway, that was that. So I covered the ABN, I covered the pool playing when I was homeless. FTRA. Um, well, I don't think we have time. I don't, like I said, I'm not sure you guys are even still listening or how many are still listening. Um, but yeah, you've heard about the ABN and the money you can make in that, and you've heard about the pool hustling and the money that I can make. And this is years and years ago. Um, this pool episode when I was homeless, this was probably around after I got my felony um, here in Vegas. I when I was young, I got into pool and everything, but my grandfather passed away. That was a bummer, and everything. But yeah, I was out of pool for a while. So, but it didn't take me long to get back into it once I got out to the table. It's like riding a bike. They say, once you start doing it all comes back to you. But and it's because of that felony that I got. Oh, the felony. Yeah, I that's what I wanted to say next. How that come about? Because there have been people asking me about, well, how do was it because of that? Was you like a criminal? Are you a criminal? So, and I'm not a criminal. Not even in my hacking. Hacking, I'm a criminal, even though it's illegal. But I don't steal people's money. I don't hack into bank accounts or I break into computers and that's about where it ends. And that's illegal. There's a Computer Rights Act about it, so that makes that illegal. Doesn't matter whether you're just snooping around and looking, and you see someone's credit card, but you don't do anything. You wish you could tell them, look, your computer is unsecure, man, and I can see all your shit. Your kids, your credit card, your bank accounts, everything. I know your life. I know as much about you as you do. You probably should secure, but I can't do that. I can't be a nice guy because as soon as I tell them that I'm trying to be nice, but you know where nice gets you? Fucked. I'm trying to be nice. Now he's going to get pissed off and turn me into the cops. Son of a bitch, my neighbor hacked into my fucking computer, and so I just, why be nice? I just leave it. Let someone else that it is does want their money and whatever else because they have their whole life right there. Especially now, especially in 2024. Um, I could have helped whatever happens. I could have helped them because back when I did it and got in there, I could have told them and they would have been, oh, thanks. You know about this, but how can I do this? How can I, stop people from getting into my shit? Well, here, let me show you. But no, it wouldn't have worked like that. They would have turned me in, and that's how that would have worked. And he would have still been unsecured and would have still got hacked. So, uh, no benefit come from it really. So it was a pointless act to even get in. And this is where the intelligence come in. I tell you guys, before we do something, we think the whole scenario out first. We don't just go, oh, you know what? I need to tell my neighbor, he needs to button this up and run over there instantly and knock on his door and tell him. No, we say, okay, how is this going to play out? I go over there, knock. He finds out that I hacked into the system. He's pissed off. He's irate. I know about his kids and this and that. I know about it. He lives on porn, and not even his wife knows, or so not, he wants to get rid of me. Right? He wants to turn me into the cops now and everything, and you know. So he's like, yeah, that's a whole problem. I'm not gonna say shit and just stick to myself and let him do his thing. Whatever happens to him is his problem. Um, but how do we get on that again? I got to backtrack. Try to, and my mind doesn't. It's not that I lack memory. It's my mind doesn't stay still long enough for me to think back. Because it always wants to keep moving forward. Um, we did the pool. We did the FTRA. What got me onto this? Well, I don't know. Um, Anyway, maybe it wasn't that important. Who knows? Like I said, there's so much shit in my life, guys. I got to look up here instead of down there. There's so much shit in my life, guys. Even I get lost going through it. But yeah. Okay, and again, the pauses I might cut out, I might not. You know, it's part of the video. You guys seem to like, the videos, so I'll just when I'm going through the video, editing it, I'll decide, whether if it's too long of a pause or not. But I guess I covered it all. Again, what I figured to be a 10-minute video or something is probably turned into close to another hour-long video. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys have got to let me know whether you like this or not. And oh, let me say this, by the way, if you're still here. Um, the learning videos, with the hashtag and number, like the Wireshark. Oh, I got to eat. I still haven't ate yet. Um, and see, I've been up already almost going on 7 hours, and I haven't ate. This is what happens when hackers get on a computer. They get immersed. They get lost. But I got to eat. So I haven't even ate yet already. The day's half over. Um, but see, I forgot doing that little diversion. I forgot what I was going to talk about. Man, I'm telling you, this is really bad. Um, and you see, when I'm writing my novels, I don't have this problem because everything that I just said to you, I was a bit, I'm writing it down. I'm writing my novels and everything. So if I get down here and I go to the bathroom or something and come back and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what did I say? Where was I at? Well, all I gotta do is go back up and read. So, but I don't have a script. This is not scripted. This is off the, this is like freestyle rapping. This is off the cuff, me explaining my life to you guys. That's what it is. But anyway, with that, I guess I'll end this. Um, Probably boring already. I don't know. I might have maybe 4 or 5 people out of my 70 or 80 people that are in the chat that are probably still listening. But I guess with that, the only reason they're still like right now, the only reason they're still listening right now is because they're wondering if this is actually the end or not, or if I'm going to keep going. That's why they're still here. But I think I covered, you know, at least enough to keep you guys entertained for today on a Thursday. And like I said, if anyone wants to talk, to me personally about anything, other than what security, other than, oh, now I know the hashtags. My training, is going to be structured. It's going to be in order, and it'll have any video that has a hashtag and a number at the beginning of it will be part of my training. Anything else, it will be on security topics. Like I got one. Well, I got some coming up, um, and it's going to be in a playlist basically. It's going to be on the channel. If you go to videos, all my videos are there. But like my last one, which was about 3.5 minutes, I did manage to do that without going over. But all this filler in stuff and everything because you know my actual learning videos are going to have some time between maybe a week or longer and stuff, and that's just because everyone in chat here. I got it on both computers. That's why I'm pointing over here when it's right here also. But everyone in chat, it's not like I'm the only place they're learning it from. You know, there's some that are taking, try hack me. There's some that are taking over the wire. There's some that are taking, this course over here. Maybe my guy's going to get into this, and he's going to start taking that. And that takes time. Hack the Box, also Hack the Box Academy. They're going through all these other things and everything, and they're going through all those also. And mine is just something added to it. Is just additional training on top, of what they're already learning and everything. And I don't want to pile the actual learning. actually, like we're talking about networking, that's the first subject. I don't want to pile them down with 4 or 5 videos in, in 2 or 3 days, when they're not going to watch them all in 2 or 3 days because they got this other studying and stuff going on. So those are going to be spaced out, and to give them time, to do their stuff and get their studying and their normal life. They've got kids, they got jobs, they work and stuff. So you know, they can only a lot of people can only devote 2 to maybe 3 hours a day, and and what and the other courses that they're doing and my videos. So I just don't want to bog everybody down. That's all. I want to space my actual learning out. These kind of video, because they know, if a video doesn't have a hashtag, then I don't need to watch it. Okay, it's not part of the training that he's giving us in cybersecurity, and so they can choose to watch these or not. That way they know on what's important, the important videos, and what's not the important ones. And with that, guys, I guess I'll end this. And whatever I forgot, I forgot. Sorry. Like I said, we could be here. We could be. I don't know how long we could be here for a long time if I was to just sit down and chat with all of you about my life. Um, but with that, I'll I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. I'll see all you guys back in chat. If you got questions or anything, and guys, have a happy Thursday and a happy weekend. We'll see you.